What's going on? Kirk here with Rise Up Again, and today we're going to be going over the dreaded B word, branding. So what does it mean to brand yourself? It's the unique identity that sets you apart in all the noise. And as a band, you really need to set yourself apart. And the way that you do that is by being creative, consistent, and cohesive. Now, what does that mean? Well, first, creative branding. What do you want your music to say visually? Do you want it to look black and white all the time? Do you want it to be more 50s retro? Or do you want it to have vibrant colors? These are things that you need to think about as an artist. Your creative branding is up to you, but what do you want your music to say visually to people? For instance, the 1975. They're very creative in their branding. They're a pop band that says they're not a pop band. You can look at their music videos like Girls, like Love Me and The Sound. They're all talking about how they're not a pop band and making fun of the pop culture. However, they're a pop band. That's their creative branding, and it's something that you need to be very intentional about. Don't just throw things together. Think about it. What do you want your music to say visually? Number 2, consistent branding. I can't tell you how important this is. You don't want to confuse your fans as an artist. Some artists have the same branding throughout their career, but then some artists change it up a little bit from record to record. But 21 Pilots is a great example of this. The record Vessels, it was fairly lighthearted in the color schemes and in the branding on the record, and they kept that throughout the whole life of that record until the next one. That was their branding for that record. But then the next record, Blurry Face, came out, and it was a lot darker. It was a lot moodier, and then their colors changed a little bit. But at least they were consistent. Their record set the mood for their whole branding. The Emotional Roadshow tour had the same color scheme, the same fonts. It's something you need to make sure that is consistent. So look at your stuff. Is it consistent? Is it the same throughout a time period? Making sure that things are consistent is very important, so that way you don't confuse your fans as an artist. And then finally, number 3, cohesive branding. What does it mean to be cohesive? Well, the definition for cohesion is an action that forms a united front. So what are you doing to keep all of your stuff the same? It needs to be unified. All of your color schemes need to be the same across the board. All of your fonts need to be the same across the board. Your Twitter needs to look like your Instagram. Your Facebook needs to look like your YouTube page, and all of that needs to look like your website. So keeping your branding cohesive is so important. Yes, you will have fans as an artist that will be on every single platform. However, there will be some fans that will just be on Twitter. There'll be other fans that will just be on Instagram, and you want to make sure that they are seeing the exact same things. So that way, if they do fall onto another social media platform, they're not confused. Wait, I thought we were releasing this single. Oh no, well over here it's saying this single. You need to make sure that everything is up to date and that it looks the same. One way to make this easier is to master 4 or 5 different platforms, not a million different ones. So that way it's a lot easier to keep it all together, and you can keep it consistent, creative, and cohesive. Now I want you to do something. I want you to look up every single post that you've ever made. I want you to research every video you've ever put up. Is it creative? Is it consistent? Is it cohesive? Does everything look the same? That's why branding is so important, because it's what your music says and shows to your fans. And making sure that it's creative, consistent, and cohesive all across the board is how you can gain new fans, how you can pick up momentum, and how you can launch yourself further and further and further as an artist. So do you need help with branding? Make sure to drop a comment below. I would love to hear what you're doing, what your ideas are, or if you have any questions. But also make sure to check out this song.